Hey everybody, it's Kelly Williams with The Kelly Williams Show and your home TV, and it's time for The Kelly Williams Show. Yay! Woo! All right, today we are talking about your roof. Do you know what it looks like? Yeah, it needs to look like this.
That it does.
But we are here, we're going to talk with Jonpaul Spees. He is president of P3 Roofing about what you need to be looking for, and is it time for a new roof? Do you need repairs? Who do you trust? Who do you call? Not Ghostbusters in this case, but you're going to call P3 Roofing, and we're going to talk about why. So get ready, grab your coffee, grab your mimosa, your mineral water, your energy drink.
We're going to do that. All right.
Whatever, because we're going to be right back to find out more. Here we go. All right, hey guys, and we're back. Woo! All right, so we are literally here with Jonpaul Spees of P3 Roofing, and we are talking about, something that, most people, honestly, Jonpaul, they don't want to talk about it.
Nope.
They don't care until they have a leak or if something happens, and then all of a sudden, roofing is an issue.
Absolutely.
You're worried, and you and P3 Roofing take that stress away. That is what we're trying to help you with today. Look, it's the end of the year. So few people, because there was no hurricane this year.
No, there wasn't.
Most people are not looking at their roof right now until something happens. And so let me do this. All right. So what we're doing today is we're bringing you some really good information on what you need to look for and why P3 Roofing is who you need to trust and why they're so good. Okay, so Jonpaul, you're president of P3 Roofing.
Yes.
And my nephew. I love him. He's amazing. He's amazing. So, okay, why is P3 Roofing so different? What makes y'all different than other roofing companies?
Well, I mean, it's really in the motto. It's professional, personal, principled.
So that's the three Ps.
Yes, the three Ps of P3 Roofing. Yeah. And professional, it's really, we're bringing you quality products. We're not bringing you big box store products. Yeah. We know you can go to Home Depot. We know you can go to Lowe's and get some, lower brand shingles. We're not carrying that big box stuff. The personal side, we treat you like family. You're not a number. You're not just another paycheck to us. We have some of the best communication out there, I believe, in roofing companies, and we're going to keep you abreast of anything that comes our way along the way in your roofing process. And the last part is principled. Yeah. I mean, it really just comes down to we have a standard, and we're not willing to sacrifice on that standard.
Yeah, and that to me is big. Trusting somebody you're working with, especially when you don't know somebody, coming out to your house, fixing something, knowing that they're giving you a good price and honesty. Huge deal. Of course, everybody knows in the construction industry, the roofing industry, anything like any service industry like that you're relying on these people to make sure they're doing a good job for you and they're honest. That's a big deal. And that's exactly what P3 is.
That it is.
Absolutely. Okay. So, one great thing, well, there's several great things about P3 Roofing, but one really amazing thing is that you work directly with the insurance companies.
Yes, we do.
You know how hard it is and what a pain it is to have that worry and that fear that you don't know what you're doing when you're talking to the insurance company. That's a big deal. And you do it.
Yes.
He does it for you. In one example, there was a customer, a client, a new client that thought they were not able to get their roof, and tell us what happened.
Right. So she initially got denied. It was State Farm, and she initially got, we say denied. She got approved for $500-ish. That was lower than her deductible, so it was actually a denial. And then what we did through the process of communicating with the insurance, going back out for some re-inspections and presenting actual documentation to State Farm, we got them approved. I believe it was right over $20,000. We got the total roof bought for them, and we were able to get it all on within, I'd say, a month of meeting with the insurance companies.
Y'all, they took care of a client who had only gotten approved for $500 for their roof with damage and got it to $20,000 because Jonpaul worked personally with the insurance company and got their whole roof covered. $20,000. That's huge right there. And that's proof. That is proof. That is hard work. That's honesty. And that is what Jonpaul and P3 Roofing do. Jonpaul, that's, I'm sorry, that's really amazing. That's incredible.
It's what we do. A lot of people get, like you were saying, a lot of people get nervous, get scared with the insurance and their jargon and how they present things to you. And they think that most of the insurance companies think that once they tell you no, you're just going to go away.
Yeah.
And that's where P3 Roofing, we're there for you. We're there to step in and say, was everything performed correctly? Did it go as planned? Is the insurance company doing right by the actual amount of damage that's up there? And unfortunately, post-COVID, we've actually seen that the insurance hasn't been playing fair. So that's why we're trying to be there for our greater Houstonians. Yeah,
I love that a lot. Okay, so another thing that P3 Roofing does, if you've ever had roof repair or a new roof put on, that a lot of times your yard's messy. There are roofing nails found in your yard. There's paper, there's trash. A lot of companies, they don't really pick up. They don't care. They're done with the job. They're not responsible for picking up the trash in your yard. They did their job and they're going to leave. Guess what P3 Roofing does? Tell them, Jonpaul.
So we have a multi-point cleanup inspection, but it also starts throughout the entire roofing process. So we are constantly cleaning throughout the actual build or repair process, either one. And we try to keep all of our trash localized. We have dedicated guys that stay on the ground to consolidate trash, to throw it in our dumpster and trash bin. But also at the end of the day, your representative, your P3 Roofing sales rep, or myself will be out there to do a personal last magnet sweep. So we're magnet sweeping all throughout the day. We're containing that trash all throughout the day, but we're not, just saying that the crews are the ones that are going to do it for you. Your representative, your sales rep will actually walk the yard with a magnet sweeper personally. They'll be the last ones on the property to make sure that everything got cleaned up to the customer's satisfaction, to make sure everything's good to go.
That's amazing, guys. I mean, I'm just being really honest with you. That is something extremely rare. And P3 Roofing makes sure that they take care of you and that you're happy before they leave. Okay, so Jonpaul, well, first of all, guys, if you have a question for Jonpaul at P3 Roofing, comment right now. We will try to get it answered for you live on the air right now. So if you have a roofing question or have something you want to ask it right now, and we'll get Jonpaul to answer it. But Jonpaul, so many people, if they roofing is, it's just like it to me. So many people, it's over my head. I don't look at it.
Literally, it is over your head.
Hey, and I didn't even mean to pun by that. That was a good one. It's right over your head. It's not something any people think about. If they have a roofing issue, if they have a leak, if they're noticed something, or they're finding shingles in their yard, they don't even know who to call. They don't know. They're scared, not scared, unsure. Some people are scared a little bit. Makes you nervous to have to talk to somebody you don't know and you don't trust. If they have a question, guess who you get to talk to? Him, Jonpaul Spees, president of P3 Roofing. He handles it. He's going to take your call personally. He'll give you his cell phone.
Yes. They'll have access to me. And that's where
Absolutely.
That's one of the biggest things that I really wanted to offer, our fellow Houstonians in the greater Houston community was knowledge and information. So many homeowners just don't really have the arsenal to figure this out and fight this battle themselves. And even if you don't choose P3 Roofing as your contractor, what we want to do is leave you with enough ammo to fight the next contractor, to fight the insurance by yourself. We understand that, certain people may have, their uncle, their cousin, whoever's been a roofer for so many years. That's fine. We just want to make sure that you are as well equipped to deal with the insurance company or deal with another contractor in whatever way you see fit. And sometimes insurance, you can't necessarily go the insurance route. It's aged out or there's not enough storm damage up there. Again, that's what P3 is here, for the homeowner, is to help them decide what route and what direction is best for them and their family.
Absolutely. And listen, okay, my good friend Nancy Street right here, love this, and thanks for sharing this information. It helps all of us in the roofing industry so the customer understands this. Absolutely, Nancy. Thank you, Jonpaul, for stressing the important. Thank you, Nancy. You're exactly right. Love it. Love it. The thing is that Jonpaul has actually taken phone calls and helped people who never even booked with P3.
Absolutely.
I mean, he just answered questions because that's who he is. It's about kindness and trustworthiness and making sure you're taking care of the client. You're not going to get all the jobs.
No.
It's just the reality of it, and that's okay. You just want to make sure they're getting the information that you need to make the right decision. And of course, we hope that you're going to call P3 Roofing, but I'm going to tell you, this is what kind of person Jonpaul Spees is, and that tells you a lot about his character and about P3 Roofing. So thank you for that, Jonpaul. Multiple checks on clients' homes. We talked a little bit about this, but what do you make sure that you're doing from the beginning of a roofing job to the end of a roofing job? What does that entail?
So, I mean, it's gonna, and every process is different, repair to replacement, every customer is different. And there's plenty of different types of shingles out there. And a lot of the variations now just have to do with color. So as far as, helping the customer through that process, we're going to take them through a very basic, every roofing system should have these things. They should have 6 or 7 things in them. And every brand is going to carry their own variation of all of these same materials. And with that, we're educating the customer on what different types of products go into a total roofing system. We're educating them that if you don't actually piece them together as part of one system, you're not going to get a warranty on that. That's part of our principled standards of we only do same product roofing systems. We want to ensure that customer's money is going further, that they're actually getting the most bang for their buck and getting a stock standard guarantee from that manufacturer saying that if anything goes wrong, manufacturer defects are covered. Yeah. And after the explanation's done, after the customer picks their colors, it's pretty much, in and out in a day. There's larger homes that take, a little bit longer than a day. But for the most part, we'll get there, set up around 6:30, 7 o'clock, be tearing the roof off by 7:30. That'll typically take us an hour, maybe 2 hours. Prep everything, get the roof set. We put our underlayment on, we put our drip edge on, we put our ice and water on. I won't bore you with all of the fancy jargon of the materials, but once we get the roof set and done, we're having our representative, get up on top of the roof, make sure everything's installed, according to the manufacturer specifications and according to the P3 standards. Yeah. We're then making sure everything is, of course, clean and to our standards on the bottom of the roof. And we're doing a final walkthrough with the homeowner before we leave to make sure that everything's taken care of. Sometimes, especially with the time change, it gets a little darker earlier. Yeah. Sometimes we're not able to actually do a walkthrough where the customer can see actually what's going on up there. We're happy to come back out the next morning, walk through everything in the sunlight, make sure it's to their standards, again, before we're walking away from that and saying, customer's good to go. Yeah. So it's really a quick process. We're very efficient in what we do. We know residential roofing. And that's where we just try to make the process as easy and understandable for our clients as possible.
Yeah, I love that. Is there any job that is too small or too big for P3 Roofing?
There's no job too big or too small.
Okay. See, that's good because a lot of people go, oh, I only have a little bitty this and, they're not going to take care of me. Yes, they will.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. You do all sizes, which is and they do huge jobs.
Yes.
So they can handle anything, which is really, really great. Okay. So my friend Vanessa, hi, Vanessa. This is a very good question. There are many roofers out there who do not operate without license or bonding. That is so true. How can you check if one is bonded and licensed?
So in the state of Texas, you don't actually need a license to do roofing. Most of this stuff is going to be available on a certificate of insurance. Most roofers like ourselves, if we're doing a packet, we're just going to hand you copy of our certificate of insurance in there with you. We know it's a common question, especially because there is no licensing practices, but you should be able to see their liability insurance on their COI, as well as if they're bonded or not. They'll either add that verbiage in there, or they can have a separate document showing that if they're bonded or not.
Yeah, that's great. And also, and she's actually in Louisiana. So
yes.
that makes sense, because Louisiana does have different.
They do require licensing in the state of Louisiana.
Yes. So Vanessa, good question, especially in Louisiana. So that's how you make sure. So great job, great answer. Okay, so Jonpaul, when somebody calls you and they say, I need to maybe find out if I have any roof damage, especially there hasn't been a hurricane this year and we want to find out, what do they do? Is it free? Is there a cost? What happens with that?
So this is very common, and the insurance company actually recommends that you get your roof, inspected at least once or twice a year.
Wow.
And that's just where, if you do that with, a reputable contractor like P3 Roofing, you're going to get documented photos and an inspection report showing what your roof looked like from 23, 24, 25. So you have all that to actually present to the insurance if and when you're ready to file a claim, and it makes filing that claim that much easier. But what they'll do, you can call, you can email, schedule your appointment. We will come out there. We'll do a full, comprehensive, free inspection report. It's going to come with typically, anywhere from 60, 80, maybe even 100 plus photos. It's a very detailed report. And we're going to take pictures of both damage and things that are clearly fine. We take pictures of things that are fine, because then we can show the aging process year over year.
Wow.
And what we can do is we can actually not only recall, that data from the customer, but we save those inspection reports, so we can actually see the change over time, year in, year out. And we can call in and check in with customers to make sure everything's good to go. But it doesn't cost them anything. They'll get their free inspection report, and keeping that, report will actually help with future claims in the future.
I love that. That is really great. So you won't be concerned if about changes that you don't know about. P3 Roofing will help you with that. Okay, guys, so we have been talking with Jonpaul Spees, president of P3 Roofing. We are finding out all about what you actually need to be looking for, and why having a good roofer that you can trust is so important, guys. We're going to be right back with more right after this.
P3 Roofing provides knowledge and service in the roofing industry in the greater Houston area. What sets us apart is the customer service. It's what the 3 Ps stand for: professional, personal, principal.
Of course, you're always going to give somebody a chance, and they blew me out of the water, and my clients out of the water.
I was most impressed by the efficiency. It blew my mind that it could be all done in one day.
Their work is above and beyond.
We work with the insurance companies to make sure you don't get cheated. Call P3 Roofing today for a free consultation. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events wants you to come party with us. We're bringing the fun to the Houston Bay Area. Stay tuned for all of our incredible events throughout the year, featuring amazing food and drinks, live entertainment, special guests, and so much more. Fun, new, different. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events is where you want to be. So come party with us. It's more than a yacht. It's serendipity.
All right, we're back. Woo! Raise the roof. Get it? Raise the roof. Look at that. We're raising it. We're raising it. Okay, so I am with Jonpaul Spees. He is president of P3 Roofing. And we've been giving you lots of really good information about how to really trust and know who you're trusting with your roof. It is scary, and it's scary for so many people. And you don't want, why would you deal with the insurance company when somebody can deal with it for you? You don't have to. P3 Roofing makes it really easy. Roofing.
Doug is on me about that all
Roofing.
the time. We're roofing.
Roofing. We're roofing. That's right. So, Jonpaul, P3 Roofing gets so many referrals. Referrals are literally how y'all get the majority of your business.
Yep.
Why do you think you get so many referrals? Just an honest. opinion?
I think it comes down to, I talked with one of my dad's best friends at the UH LSU bowl game.
I know.
And they used to coach and ref baseball together way back in the day when we were younger. And immediately, heard I had the roofing company, and Dad was like, yeah, you should. He's like, I got my guy. I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I trust.
Yeah.
And that's where people, who do you typically look for recommendations from? Google's great, but you're going to ask, your friends, your family, the people that you trust the most first in your immediate circle before you go outside there. So I really think that we have an amazing referral network, especially, in the Kemah, in the Galveston market, really just because our friends and family love telling each other, especially when it comes down to service-based industries, like you said. You're going to have somebody come inside your house. If you're going to have anybody work on one of your biggest investments, you want to feel comfortable with that. And your friends and family, 9 times out of 10, aren't going to steer you wrong. So I think that's really why we succeed with our referrals. Is a lot of people have seen the quality, talked about the quality of P3 Roofing and what we do, and we've been very blessed and grateful to have our customer base keep referring us time and time and time again.
Yeah. One thing that I realized that y'all were getting booked for is people are selling their homes, or they're looking at rental properties, or buying, purchasing rental properties and things like this. They're calling P3 to make sure the roof is okay. If you're trying to sell your home, they need a new roof, because then that just adds, of course,
exactly,
which is amazing to the purchase price you can get if it has a new roof. What is the difference on warranties? When people look at that, I know they're different,
right?
But how do warranties work with roofing?
So you're gonna have a couple different ways that warranties and roofing work. And the biggest issue, things that I think a lot of customers need to pay attention to, is that you have to use X amount of the same type of products, like I was saying before, in order to get the bare basic bones roofing manufacturer warranty, right? So our preferred product that we install is CertainTeed. We're a preferred installer for CertainTeed. We're licensed with them. And when we do a CertainTeed system, we typically do 100% CertainTeed, but the bare bones we need to have is 4 to 5 CertainTeed, actual CertainTeed brand products.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, if you want to, mix and match and try to do that, you're not actually going to get any type of roofing warranty from the manufacturer side of things. In the state of Texas, I believe the state requires us to have a 2-year workmanship warranty, a labor warranty on that process. But as far as the manufacturer themselves preparing against defects, your stock standard that you're going to get is a 10-year manufacturer warranty.
Okay.
To protect it against any type of defects.
Wow. Okay. So that's just something you want to talk to Jonpaul about, depending on what kind of roof you need or what you need. Y'all also if you don't need a new roof, you can get repairs done.
Absolutely.
So many people right now before the end of the year are going, we need to repair this. If we have a big storm in 2026, we don't want another leak, which is more expense on them. Will y'all do a free consultation for just repairs?
Absolutely.
Repair work on your roof?
Absolutely. I mean, and look, we face it all the time, right? Brand new homes get built. They fall out of warranty, year 3, year 4, year 5, they start having, random gust storm come through, and it messes up just a few shingles. That roof is 3-4 years old. They don't need a whole new roof.
Yeah.
So we're happy to go out, repair, that small patch area that they need, prevent the leaks from happening. And we hope that, in the future, the service that we gave them will hopefully lead to getting some new work in the future. But at the end of the day, yes, again, there's no job too big. There's no job too small. Repair, replacement. And again, I mean, not even just the asphalt architectural shingles. We have some fancier stuff, some metal.
Y'all do the metal roofs
some stone-coated steel, things like that.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. Jonpaul, what areas does P3 Roofing service?
Greater Houston area. Yes. Yeah. So Greater Houston's going to cover everything pretty much from Conroe to Galveston and then Porter to Sealy. Not quite 100 square mile radius, maybe 50 square mile radius, but it's pretty large. And I would dare say there's only been a few calls we've ever actually had to turn down. Yeah. Some people from Alabama gave us a call one time. We weren't going to go to Alabama for them. Sorry. But no, pretty much anywhere in the Greater Houston area, we're there for you.
Yeah, I love that. And one thing that I do love about P3 Roofing and about you and your staff, there's no pressure. You're not pressured into buying anything, buying a new roof, doing work with them. This is where the trust factor comes in. That is so important, especially when you're inviting someone into your home to give you a quote or work with you. There's no pressure.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to you, that's really how y'all do things, that you're not, there's people don't worry about having to feel pressured like a used car,
like people, a car salesman,
used to feel like that.
So it's one of those things. I've been in customer service, I've been in sales a majority of my working career, and when it comes down to it, I've seen all sorts of salesmen. I've been taught all sorts of ways, and for me, especially when it came to starting this roofing company and trying to make a difference in my local community, what it came down to was, I'm not going to sell my mom and dad like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell my customers like that. So at the end of the day, I definitely understand, from a business sense, that giving you free knowledge and information and telling you that you don't have to choose P3 Roofing is not necessarily the best business tactic or strategy to make the most money immediately.
Yeah.
But what I hope it does, and what a majority of our customers have experienced and said, is that that hassle-free, that no pressure way of selling, really does build that trust factor. And what it comes down to is really, again, what I said is, that's not how I'd sell my parents. And that's not how I'd sell my aunt.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to P3 being the family, that's ultimately what I hang my hat on every day is the family values that I want this company to always have.
Absolutely. And I think that is why P3 Roofing has become so successful since its inception, because you care and you're honest and you're trustworthy and you make people feel like they're working with somebody in their family and that they know you're going to do them right. And that's a very, very big deal. And Sheila Spees said, this is such great information. Very helpful. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Okay, guys. So Jonpaul, thank you for sitting with us today and explaining some really, really important information about the roofing industry, what you need to look for, and why you need to call P3 Roofing. Get your free consultation, guys. No pressure. They are here to help you, and they will take really, really good care of you.
Absolutely.
So, okay, Jonpaul, you want to say anything leave them one last tidbit about P3 Roofing?
No, it's really, I really just think that as far as how we do our normal sign-offs for videos and stuff, it really just is, at the end of the day, there's no job too big, no job too small. Give P3 Roofing a call. You'll be glad you did.
I like it. I like it. Okay, guys, you can watch Jonpaul on here every month. We'll be talking roofing business and giving you tidbits and good information right here on the Kelly Williams Show. But we hope you have an awesome and blessed rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.